we're raising a toast to the one and only Bill Murray, the master of mischief and melancholy. Join us and our favorite 007 aficionado, Nick, as we rank Bill's best, as well as channel our inner Wes Anderson, and assemble our dream 90s 2000s acting squad. Who will be our go-to collaborators for quirky offbeat cinematic adventures? Stay tuned to find out.
This week on the No More Late Fees podcast, we are joined by fellow member of the James Bond Superfans Club, Nick. Welcome back.
I am so excited to be here.
I am waiting for my membership for the James Bond Superfans Club to go through. It keeps getting rejected because it keeps asking me what are my top favorite Bond movies, and I keep saying The Spy That Shagged Me and Spy Kids 2, but like shit keeps getting denied.
I really like After the Sunset.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Classics.
I feel like my role in this delightful No More Late Fees community is just like, you just know that I could take it. You're just like, we're just gonna beat the shit out of Nick and we're just gonna keep inviting him back because we know he's good for it. He can do fine. I know I'm happy to be here and to be here as a part of this, even if I am just getting dunked on.
Well, let me just tell you, you got your lick back with this fucking movie. I'll tell you that.
I'm ready. I am ready.
We are taking hits over here as well.
No,
yes,
they are hugs. These are hugs.
These are hugs with bricks. If these are hugs, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, we can't blame Nick for making us watch this movie because it is in our time frame and it is an anniversary. So we had to do Life Aquatic.
Excusing bad behavior, but that's all right because the way that this podcast works is that we can't just do all of our faves. Some of our best episodes are the ones that we have very cool relationships, cool, cold-hearted relationships with. Okay.
Well, if you want to find out our opinions about the Life Aquatic, go and listen to our episode from earlier this week. But right now, we are going to name our best of Bill. So we're each going to take a moment and think of our top two favorite Bill Murray classics. And then we're going to rank them all from 1 to 6.
I'm done. Didn't take me long.
Okay, well, Danielle, I'm gonna put Life Aquatic on my list. It is definitely my favorite Bill Murray movie. So there you go. I am tempted just to I don't know, be the villain in this story. I want to put Lost in Translation on the list just to kind of lean, but I'm not that guy. I'm not wholly that guy. So I'm going to put Ghostbusters.
Classic.
I'll go Life Aquatic and Ghostbusters are my top.
Which one?
Number 1, first one, Ghostbusters.
Becky?
So mine two are Zombieland and Charlie's Angels.
I knew it was going to be that one.
Good pick.
I would have gone Ghostbusters, but because Nick chose Ghostbusters, Charlie's Angels is a close third.
Mine is his real best movie ever, which is Groundhog Day.
Great pick.
And number 2, it's a television show, and it's only a cameo, but I love that he did it, which was Parks and Rec, because it's like my all-time favorite TV show. He plays Mayor Gunderson on Parks and Rec, and I love that for us.
Okay, so we have Life Aquatic, Ghostbusters, Zombieland, Charlie's Angels, Groundhog Day, and Parks and Rec.
I personally think Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day should be the top two, only because Life Aquatic is the bottom of my fucking list. But those three movies, he's actually the real star. While I could say like Zombieland, Parks and Rec, those are cameos. And Charlie's Angels, he's a supporting cast member. And he didn't even make it to the second one because drama. As much as we love Bill Murray, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole.
He's consistent.
Life. Consistently an asshole.
Right. So he's predictable in his assholery.
It is.
Yes.
Very much so. Okay, so I think we can all agree Ghostbusters is number one.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We're never going to give you Life Aquatic as number one.
No. I was going to argue for Groundhog Day. I feel like Groundhog Day is sort of like, it is, because like Ghostbusters is like, he's kind of doing that role as part of a ensemble, but like Groundhog Day is like, it is Bill Murray being Bill Murray at Bill Murray's best, and that's the driving force of the movie.
And I think it stretches him too, because like this is his first attempt at a rom-com, or a romantic lead, because I think before this movie, we would have never really saw him as doing that. We probably would have never gotten Lost in Translation without him being able to kind of do this role. But he's just so good in it. And when we think of the way that movie could have been played as a trope, he really he grounds the character. You go from hating him to loving him. You see the like transition and trajectory of his growth. I like hands down one of my favorite all-time movies.
Yeah. So I would argue Groundhog Day at the top.
That's fine. I have no skin in this game because I've never seen Groundhog Day.
The fuck?
Sorry.
Just don't know where you
I feel like I knew that, and I just every time I'm reminded of that, it is still appalling to me.
You know, this podcast is challenging our friendship.
So I will say Bill Murray as the main lead, not a super fan of. Like, it's too much Murray for me, which is why I've never watched movies that really he is the lead of. Ensemble, I need someone to tone the Murray down. So, apologies.
Okay. Number two, we've got Ghostbusters. Yes. Classic. All right. Now, here's where the cookie really crumbles. Nick, I will never agree to Life Aquatic being in the top anything. So,
6.
I mean, you and Jackie can outrank me, but I'm just going to be staying with it. Fuck that man in that movie.
I really love him in Zombieland.
Yeah.
It's not different. He's still himself, but like this crazy, like post-apocalyptic pretending to be a zombie so he doesn't get attacked by zombies. I just thought it was a fascinating character. And him playing a version of himself.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed.
Which is literally every movie on this list, with the exception of potentially Groundhog Day, is just Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's where it gets hard to rank Bill Murray at all. And there's a lot of actors that are kind of in this realm where it's like they, in the first, 5-10 years of their career, they kind of like start to hone a thing. And then at some point they're just like, I'm just going to keep doing that and cashing the checks. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things which Bill Murray is the better Bill Murray? They're all still just Bill Murray, with a handful of exceptions. So fine, put Zombieland ahead of Life Aquatic. Life Aquatic is 4. Life Aquatic is 4. Get out of here with your little cameos and some big thing. No.
I will say, watching Life Aquatic, I think this is the best Bill Murray has ever looked on camera.
The short gray beard?
Yeah.
The kind
I
of
didn't mind it.
And in that, the visual style of Wes Anderson, it kind of works.
Yeah. So I will give him that. I will give this movie that.
Let's wrap it
Okay.
up. So we've got Life Aquatic, Charlie's Angels, then put Parks and Rec, and let's call it a day.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. This is fun. We're having fun. This is a delightful, charming movie. Bill Murray is a funny guy. We're just like, come on. Come on.
Let's moving on. We got a question for everyone. Wes Anderson is known for using the same group of actors in his films. Name 4 actors that you would have in your squad in the 90s, from the 90s and 2000s.
We might need to go a little round robin on this one because I don't think I could do 4 off the top of my head.
All right. Jackie, what do you got?
So, number 1, Drew Barrymore. Adam
Sheila's
Sandler.
Gonna hate that.
What?
Sheila's gonna hate that. She hates Drew Barrymore so much.
I love Drew Barrymore. Number 2.
Speaking of somebody that just does the I'm Drew Barrymore, I'm gonna be Drew Barrymore.
Yep.
Every movie.
2 is Adam Sandler. Again, same person every movie.
Yep. Except was it? I really thought he stretched himself in Spanglish.
Yeah.
Punch Drunk Love.
And Uncut Gems.
Haven't seen that one, but
yeah. 3 is Alan Rickman. And then my last pick is LL Cool J. I love LL Cool
J.
Charming? So charming.
Nick, who do you have?
All right. I went, I think I just started with some, heavy hitters. I went Tom Hanks, just because Tom Hanks, I think, is just always delightful. Emma Thompson, I don't know why. When I was, trying to think, I love Emma Thompson. And it was Stranger Than Fiction was the one that popped in my head of just, when did I really, love Emma Thompson? And so I was like, I think I've never seen Emma Thompson where I didn't like Emma Thompson. Jim Carrey, I think, is one, I don't know. I think that's a strong pick. Going from Ace Ventura and the real goofy comedy stuff, and then going into Truman Show and Man on the Moon, things like that. Dude, Jim Carrey, and Sandra Bullock. Just because I was trying to think who was I watching? Sandra Bullock, Crash and Speed, and I don't know. She's just, I love Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Crash is a horrible movie.
I like it. I feel like it was profound the day it came out, and then every year that goes by, I'm like, oh.
It was profound for white people, for sure. They really thought they were cooking with that one. They were like, oh, we're really talking about race relations, That's like me doing a Hanukkah special because I'm an expert. You know what I mean? Come on.
It's fair. And that is 100% fair. And what's interesting is when I teach, I used to do this, I don't do it anymore, but when I taught intercultural communication, I would use Crash as a final. I would give every student in the class a character, and we would watch Crash, and I'm like, you have to talk about their experience from their perspective of that character to kind of get you out of your own cultural headspace and into somebody else's. And it worked really, really, really well for 17-year-old, 18-year-old privileged little babies that haven't had to think like that before. So yeah, for that particular audience, Crash is fantastic, but it's not as profound as we would have liked to have thought.
Yeah.
Yes. Great picks. Love it.
Thank you.
My list, and I'm sure I thought about it, and I'm like, I probably could put the entire cast of Scary Movie on here, and that would be perfect. But Regina Hall. And the thing is, everybody on my list gets kind of pigeonholed into a particular genre, but I feel could do other genres and do amazing. And that's what I would probably do, is try to switch it up. Regina Hall is probably one of the best actresses ever. It's one of the best, especially comedic actresses ever. I don't think she gets enough credit or love for what she's able to do. And I think when she plays in dramas too, she's amazing. It just sucks. There's so many actors where I feel damn, it's a shame that she's a Black actress. Because if she was a white actress, she'd be cooking and forever. So it sucks, but I love her. Denzel Washington, I think Denzel Washington is one of the best actors of all time. I do think that sometimes he has gotten pigeonholed and he can be a little one-dimensional with some things in his career. I would have loved to put him in more comedies because he's so funny when he gets the opportunity. And after watching The Preacher's Wife, it would have been great to see him in like a rom-com. I know that might be too lowbrow for him, but he would have been great in that. And he was just being respectful to his wife and his audience.
Love
Harrison,
seeing Denzel interviewed. Like he's been doing like a lot of press circuit for Gladiator 2 these days. I'm just like, the man is just he is kind and delightful and smart and like just every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, what a dude. Like this guy.
what I love about Denzel is that Denzel always stays grounded in that he is a black man first, regardless, and will always show up for the community. There was a guy that interviewed him with a Stanley Kubrick t-shirt on and said, "Hey, I always start with this. What's your favorite Stanley Kubrick movie?" And Denzel went back and said, "Yeah, I wasn't really watching his movies at that time when he came out. You'd have been coming out of a Stanley Kubrick movie and I would have robbed you. Like, I didn't really start watching." He said, "I'm not a film buff." Denzel Washington is a classically trained actor. He has seen the movies. But what he did in that interview was he pretty much told like that film bro culture is so whitewashed. And when you learn about movies, it's just like the idea that true cinema is like this certain catalog of white directors and white movies. And it's funny how people will say they're a film buff, but they haven't seen a lot of foreign movies. They haven't seen a lot of black movies because those movies are not deemed like cinema, quote unquote. So him turning that around, you should have seen, first of all, the guy was gasted, like flabbergasted. He didn't know how to react to that because in his mind, Stanley Kubrick is the end all be all. And when Denzel flipped it on him, he was like, I was seeing blaxploitation movies at that time, which we could say for the culture that having pimps and hoes as our representation as black people wasn't the greatest, but that was the closest we were to having superheroes at that time. That was the height of like the beginning of black cinema. We wouldn't have those movies from the 90s without it. And I just love that he was able to kind of like do it in a respectful way, but really drag that boy for that because context, he's in a Ridley Scott movie. He could have asked him, "What's your favorite Ridley Scott movie?"
Yeah.
But he was speaking from a place of privilege, and I loved it. I love Denzel Washington. Long way of saying I love Denzel Washington. So if you see that interview, you should watch it because it's hilarious. Because that guy didn't know what to do with that. And I think more actors should like do that. Harrison Ford, we don't even need a reason.
Yeah.
Probably because I tried to sexually harass him on set. And Michelle Pfeiffer, because she can do literally anything. Sing, dance, comedy, drama, rom-coms. She is that girl.
She is amazing. Excellent picks, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick. Now for another round of employee picks. So, as an honorary Blockbuster employee, you get to recommend 3 movies for our audience to watch. You don't have to stick within our time frame because this will be the 3rd time you've done it. But apparently, upon reflection, you have chosen 2 movies twice. So your previous picks are Life Aquatic, Almost Famous, Out Cold, and Swingers.
And by next year, we would have done 3 out of 4 of these movies.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, you would think that after having been on the podcast now several times, I would anticipate this and I'd have a list prepared. I don't. I think that's why I'm repeating movies. I'm like, oh, shit, that's right. I got to pick movies. I'll just go with the ones that I know I love. Let's go Life Aquatic, Almost Famous. No, okay. One new one that I will pick for your listeners is Pick It Up, Ska in the 90s. It is a documentary film that came out like 3 years ago about the third wave ska music that peaked in the late 90s. And I know I am super biased, but that doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's a fantastic film. It's a great documentary. It's a fascinating look at this subculture it was everything for like a year or two. It was huge, and then it just went away. And there's a story to be told there. Love it. Love it. Love that documentary. Check it out. It's fantastic. Yeah. Outside of that.
Kids movies if you watch recently.
Yeah, okay. Watching a lot of family films. Okay, let's throw Titan AE on that list. It was one that came out that time, and I don't know. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen, but I think it was like it's better than people give it credit for. So maybe go back and don't let that one fly under the radar. And let's go with Tis the Season. Oh no, wait, no, this is gonna air in January. I was like, let's go with Muppets Christmas Carol. No, we can't.
We can still put Muppets Christmas Carol.
All right, Muppets Christmas Carol on there.
Okay.
Did Elf come out in the time frame?
Yep, I sure did.
Let's put Elf on there. Let's go with Elf instead of Muppets Christmas Carol.
Okay.
In honor of my daughter.
Oh,
Jovi. Well, if you have hard opinions about our Bill Murray ranking, or you love or don't love Nick's employee picks, hit us up at No More Late Fees on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, and Blue Sky, and Lemonade. Because why not? We're on everything.
We are anticipating TikTok to be disappearing, so please follow us on other apps so that you still see us. And as always, be kind and rewind.